anytime you're thinking about a girl, get that post nut clarity in
Yeah, man.
first, and then adjust.
Ask yourself
Yeah.
if you'd be willing to do the same thing you were
Yeah.
just about to do 5 minutes ago.
Exactly, bro.
Welcome to the Denis Terzic Show.
Welcome back to another episode of the Denis Terzic Show. Today we're joined with the one, the only, Mr. Jon Hill. Sir, how are you doing today?
Doing good, bro.
Appreciate you coming out here.
Thank you for having me. It's about time.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for a minute in case y'all didn't know, but he was too busy, winning awards and doing big things. So
I'm a busy man. Unfortunately, I'm a busy man, but I'm grateful for it for sure. I'm grateful for the busyness. So again, thank you for having me, bro.
Of course.
Let's do it.
So why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself? Who is Mr. Jon Hill?
Where do you want to start? Like I wear a lot of hats. I don't even know where to start. Work-wise, I'm in law enforcement. I'm a pro powerlifter in the USAPL Federation, and right now I'm also working on securing my bar card. So
Bar card?
Yeah, for graduated from law school, so before you can practice law, gotta have that bar card. So
Sweet.
we're working on that too. Like I said, man, it's a lot. It's a lot.
So is law your end all be all, or is that?
I honestly, right now, I'm in a weird space. I don't know exactly what direction I want to go into. I just have a ton of interest, a lot of stuff that like I want to accomplish. So unfortunately, that can be kind of like paralyzing, if you will.
Yeah.
So right now, like my main priority is just getting my, taking care of the bar exam itself, and then trying to figure out what direction I want to go from there. But I love the field, like in terms of like law practice, like studying, reading up on cases and stuff like that. Like it's fun. There's a ton of information. Like everything we do, and some of the reasons why we do it have to do with the different cases that come out, the laws that are being made. Like it's important stuff, and it's fun. It's fun. I enjoy it. And I enjoy a mental challenge for sure. So
Yeah, I mean it's basically mental gymnastics,
Yeah,
like logic and reasoning and all
Yeah.
that. Do you know what kind of law you want to go into, or is that something part of the journey of
that's
figuring it out?
that's part of the journey too. So like right now, since I work in like the criminal justice field,
Right.
that's like my baby. Like I enjoy this space. Like again, when it comes to like the cases, like all the wild stuff that you hear, it's probably like your criminal law cases outside of like insane accidents or like environmental type stuff. Like if it's like a really really good case, like you think about all the TV shows that we watch, it's all centered around like Law and Order, cops, stuff like that, like all that type of stuff. So that's like right now that's like my favorite, but it also doesn't make the most amount
Right.
of money. So decisions, bro.
If you did that, would you be like a public defender or?
Um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It depend on who would let me in the door and for how much too. But you got to get experience from somewhere. It's just got to make sense once I want to make that move, like financially. Like I'm not going to take like a massive pay cut just to say that I'm practicing law. So
Right.
again, bro, like this is something I think about like a lot, unfortunately. So like man, right now the main goal or the primary goal is just like passing the bar, and then from there I can take care of all this other stuff. But I don't even need to be honestly thinking about all this
Yeah.
other stuff. I haven't even passed it. So
I mean, I feel like that's something that kind of affects me too. Like you said, the paralyzation of choice. Like there's so many things that you can do in life that it's so hard to just choose one and go for it. Like you do powerlifting, you're a deputy, you want to do law.
Yeah.
Like there's so many options in life, and it's difficult to just pick one and like continue going with it. But I feel like in doing all these different things, you start learning more about yourself.
Yeah.
And kind of the path that you want to take.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself, man. Like honestly, it's like, when I tell people, for example, like I work in law enforcement, I mean, we generally, and just as humans in general, we got like a picture of what that type of person like looks like, right? But
Right.
just because this is my job doesn't necessarily mean like this is all that I am. Like,
Right.
there's so many things that interest me and so many things that I just want to have my hand in because it's just like I enjoy doing it. Like you said, like powerlifting, like I enjoy like fashion, clothing, I don't know, traveling, just all that type of stuff. So you can't like, it's hard to like, how do I want to say this? Like, put myself on just like a single track. Like, hey,
Right.
this is the one thing that I have to do in order to like divine myself. But
And I feel like that's kind of how it used to be, like back in, like, you want to talk about like boomers and generational
yeah,
differences.
that's what,
Like,
yeah,
you pick one thing, you stay with it. You know what you're doing from the time you're born to the time you like graduate. Like, if your family has a business, you're going in the family business. But now with like access to the internet and all these different things blowing up,
it's a lot.
like you
It's a
can
lot.
make money like talking to
Yeah,
people. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a lot.
you could make money doing anything. Fashion. If you want to get into fashion, you can start putting on outfits. You seen those TikToks
Yeah.
and stuff, bro? Like,
Yeah, the get ready with me.
yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you can make money doing
I've seen
anything.
all that. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's why it's, it's like I like it's always funny when I'm introducing myself to people. I start telling them like what I do, but it just depends on what like context that they're seeing me in. Like if I'm working, obviously you know exactly what I do. But if I'm like if I'm like at the gym, for example, which I spend a lot of time there, and I kind of like for the most part I keep to myself. Like I got my group of people. Like I'll say like, hey, what's up to people here and there or whatever. But for the most part, I'm not like running around, big.
I'm a cop.
I'm a cop. Yeah. I'm not going crazy. I'm not going crazy like that. Yeah, I'm not going crazy
I
like that.
got
So
you.
it comes out in conversation, man. But yeah, I mean, I feel like just in general, like people, we're a lot deeper than what we tend to like give off. Like there's,
Yeah.
I learn
Layers.
something new about people I interact with, their friends and stuff like that every other week, man. So that's me, bro. That's me.
100%.
Yeah.
Like you said, like, so for y'all that don't know, we met at the gym.
Yeah.
I've probably like known him, like encountered him in the gym like 3-4 months time.
Yeah.
Did not know this guy was a cop until he sent me like a text. Like I was like, so what do you do for work? He's like, I'm a deputy. I'm like, yo, so that's your car in the parking lot.
Yeah. They let us. They encourage us to be fit, so they let us.
Yeah.
They let us take the cars to the gym. So
Do they
yeah.
pay for your gym membership too?
Nah.
Damn.
Actually, no. They don't.
Ah,
They
true,
don't. They don't.
true.
No, I had to think about that for a sec, but no. Yeah, that's what I do, bro.
Yeah, good stuff, man. How do you find it hard? Like, because I know that I'm assuming, I don't know, but I'm assuming being a deputy sheriff is a very like strenuous, both physically and mentally. How do you like find the energy and the motivation to continue going to the gym? Because you're
That-
dealing with a lot of shit.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that part is honestly not that. That part is not hard. Like, I want to like accomplish. So I got like goals, right? So like you said earlier, like I power lift, right? So in that space, like I'm trying to be like one of the best in the nation and eventually like one of the best in the world. So in order for me to do that, like I have to train. So that goal is already set. So I already know like my actions that follow after that are going to be, in that direction. So for me, like outside of that, going to the gym, it's just like a release, man, because it's like it's chaotic. Work gets like stressful, and outside of work too, there's just like all types of other stuff, like family stuff.
Yeah.
You got bills, you got just, car might catch a flight, just all types
Yeah.
of crazy stuff, man. So
Real
it's
world
like
shit.
that's my that's just my release, and I find like I'm glad I really got into this space, like for real. Because it's like I met like a ton of people.
Yeah.
It gives me an opportunity to like push myself, like not just physically but also like mentally too. And yeah, it's just I enjoy doing it. So like in terms of finding the energy to like go train, like some days are gonna be worse than others, but I like enjoy doing it. It doesn't feel like a chore or like a oh my god, I gotta go to the gym type
Right.
of thing. So
Do you take pre-workout or anything, caffeine?
I used to take it like almost every session, but within these past couple months, I wanted to try something different, so I like cut it out
Yeah.
for the most part.
Raw dogging
and,
it.
Yeah, and I just started taking it like on my heavier sessions. Like there was one night I was like I just couldn't fall asleep because normally I train during like the weekdays at like 4:35,
Right.
and I'm there for like 2.5 hours. Go
Yeah.
home, get myself together, and eventually it's time to go lay down. But sometimes the pre-workout doesn't like work itself out my system. So I'm sitting there staring at the ceiling like, bro, I cannot fall asleep right now. And it's just like, I just wanted to like give my body a chance to reset and stuff like that. So.
But low key, when you're in bed off the caffeine, bro, like you're just sitting there, you're scheming like with these master plans. You're like, yo, tomorrow I'm gonna do this, a month from now. You ever do that shit where you just like building master plans?
Sometimes, and it's like sometimes it's like I'm thinking about what's to come, and then other times it's like, bro, just like turn your brain off and go to sleep, dog. Like, because I gotta be up in like 4 or 5 hours to go to work. So
I feel that, bro.
Yeah.
Pros and cons.
Yeah.
But something I talk a lot about with a lot of people that like want to go to the gym, that want to work out. So many people find the excuse that like I'm tired, I don't want to go to the gym, like I just worked all day.
Yeah.
But to me, like it's always baffled me like that you can't just do the extra step to go to the gym to work out, because even like when you go to the gym after that workout, you get that boost of energy that like helps like motivate you and gives you that energy you thought you were missing. What do you got to say like to those people? Like what do you think would help them just get off their ass?
Bro, if you're like going to the gym, you're doing yourself a benefit. Like it's a win. Even if you only have like 30-45 minutes of doing some type of physical activity, like I'm not saying anything new. We've all heard the study after study, bro. It's not only good just for your body, it's also good for your mind, your general health. So if you're able to just get on a routine, like you don't have to be like these people that we see on IG where it's like fitness is your life. Like that don't have to be you, but you can still go get after it, and you're doing yourself a service. You're doing yourself a service, and you're gonna thank yourself later by just like, hey man, this week I can only make it 2 times. You know, it's a rough work week, or you know, I gotta go pick up the kids, whatever. Like whatever it might be, bro. Just if you can make that time for yourself, you're gonna appreciate it. You're gonna be grateful to yourself that you took that time out your day to go make yourself better. It's worth it. It's worth it. And I'm not just saying that because I enjoy going to the gym, because I feel like, you know, a lot of people get like annoyed or irritated hearing like gym people talk about like gym this, gym that, and you know, it's like.
But it's facts.
Yeah, I mean it is. I mean, like, yeah, don't argue with me. Argue with the science. You know. But yeah, I mean we're you know, surrounded by fitnesses, like, you know, by my program that. So you know, the people that are irritated with the industry, I get it.
I mean the industry, the fitness industry. We're not promoting the fitness industry as a whole. Like all these bullshit supplements and like there's influencers.
There's a lot of.
There's some good people out there. But it's just the like you said, the mental health benefits. You look at the studies, dopamine release.
You might meet people. You might make some new friends, bro. You might find that love of your life that you've been looking for. You never know.
Hey, single men, single women, go to the gym.
It's out there.
They're out there.
It's out there.
It just opens new doors.
It does. It does, man.
We met through the gym. Yeah. I've met some of the best friends I've met is through the gym. Did you know Brooks when you he was like a white dude, big Viking beard.
Maybe by face. True, I can't. True. I can't.
He moved to Texas. You probably won't see him soon, but
shit, right on.
like. Yeah, yeah, he got the hell out of here, bro.
Yeah. Good for him, man.
But no, like that's my boy, man. Like, and the great thing that I notice about the gym is, like you said, it's people that want to do better for themselves. So the people that go to the gym aren't the people watching Netflix and eating pizza. Like they have goals, they're motivated. Like you have so many things you want to do in your life, and you go to a space where you're surrounded with everyone else who has these goals. They want more from life. It's not just about getting fit and like looking good, like for selfish reasons or like materialistic reasons, but it's genuinely like to improve their life so that they could build everything else from the gym, from going to the gym.
And it like, not for nothing, bro, like being in some kind of shape, it might save your life one day. Like honestly, like I don't know if you've seen, there's this video of a mom at like a grocery store. I don't know if it was like a mom or a grandma or something like that, but she looked like, I don't know, middle age-ish, right? She's putting groceries away or something like that. Her baby stroller starts to like go towards the street. Yeah. Have you seen this? You know
I know what you're talking about.
Bro,
yeah.
And it's crazy. She like she falls and she physically cannot get back up to go get her child. Like that's like scary. That's terrifying. And I don't know. There's just a ton of benefits, man. Like please, just go.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
Just go. Take care of your body, man. We only get one of these, you know. And depending on who you ask or what you believe in, I believe personally that you only get one body. So do the best you can to just
I mean, in like 50, 20 years,
Yeah,
you
man.
know, like get some robot arms or something,
yeah,
bro.
who knows what's gonna be out there, but for now, man, like take care of what you got, bro, for sure.
Yeah. And when you get older too, like the people that used to work out when they were younger, they don't complain about like feeling tired or like, you know, they still feel young, they still feel energy. But when you see like more out of shape older people, those are the people that are always complaining about, oh, I wish I worked out when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like I need to go to the gym, but they're in such a bad habit of never going to the gym in their life. Now when they hit that age, like the 40s and 50s, the older you get, it's harder to break out of those bad habits.
Yeah.
So they're just stuck in this like,
It's gotta start, man.
yeah,
You gotta start. Gotta start from somewhere. We all do, man.
the best time to start was yesterday.
Yeah.
The next best time to start is right now. Yes, sir.
Right now. Could not have said it better myself.
We discussed the gym a little bit and how great that is. I think we got to get off that high horse for now. If you're not convinced by now, like you ain't gonna get it.
Yeah.
But what got you into the gym? Like what started your path down that?
Oh man, that like childhood. Like I've been doing some type of like physical activity or sport since probably since I could walk. Like honestly, like
What sports did you play?
Football and track. Football
Yeah.
and track. Those were my two sports. I was a sprinter. I did like the 100, 200, 400, and a jumper too. So long jump, triple jump, and then football wise, I was a running back and I was a DB up until high school.
Did you get recruited for college or?
So I had it's kind of funny. I had a couple like offers, but none of them were too. And these are like small school offers, so I'm not.
I mean, it's still an offer, bro.
Yeah,
like,
it was an offer, but I don't want to sound like, oh, bro, I was out of here. I said, nah. Like no. It was like a couple like D2 schools, but I wanted to go to like a big school. So I ended up going to the University of Tennessee, and I don't regret that decision at all because I ended up meeting some of like the closest people some of the closest friends that I have today at school. So it's like
Nice.
I have like zero regrets, and it was just like it was a great experience, bro. I don't regret the decision not to pursue like football beyond that. I don't regret that at all.
I mean, it always works out. And I've spoken to like a lot of people that played like that got offers to D1 schools as well, and they did. They might have started out like at the school doing it, but then they like stopped doing it, and they don't regret it at all because it's a completely different ball game when you get to the college level.
Yeah.
Like it's
Like
different.
Yeah.
Like it's your whole life when like up until that point, but then it is your whole life,
For
and
sure.
there's so much more pressure and
sure.
stress on you because like that's the kind of path that you take.
Yeah, and you got your scholarship might be riding on it if you were fortunate enough to get one. It's like you got friends, families, all that outside coach. Like it's a lot, and not to say that was like the deciding factor for me, but I had in mind like what I wanted to like my college experience to like look like, and that's what I chose to like pursue. So.
Yeah. So where were you raised originally?
So I was born in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's at the border of Tennessee and Georgia.
Yeah.
You know where that is?
No.
Most people don't, but it's a smaller town. It's about like 2-ish hours from Atlanta.
Gotcha.
So
is it touching like North Carolina, kind of like right under the? No.
Nah, it's literally right at that Tennessee Georgia border.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm envisioning a map now, so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
know.
yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, that's where I was born. I spent some time down in Georgia for part of my childhood, and like a year or so in Newcastle, Delaware, and then we ended up making our way back to Tennessee.
Delaware.
And that's where
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How'd you like it there?
I wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan, and maybe it was like just during the time that was like.
Right.
That year, I was like first year of high school or something like that. I was just not a fan. It was my mom's idea, but
Yeah.
needless to say, we didn't stay up there.
We don't talk
for
about
long.
Delaware.
Yeah. Shout out to Delaware though.
Hey, all of you watching in Delaware. But I actually went to Tennessee not too long ago for a wedding, dude. Honestly, like the most beautiful state I've probably been in.
It's gorgeous. What city?
Is Decatur, is that in Georgia or is that in Tennessee?
That's in Georgia.
Okay, because I remember passing Decatur,
Okay.
and that's the only thing I remember is like passing Decatur.
Decatur's in Georgia, yeah.
It's like up, dang. I don't know, but I got a University of Tennessee hat.
Oh, were you in Knoxville? Does that sound familiar?
I think we were like 2 hours away from Knoxville. I think we were more to the left because Knoxville's over to the right. Do you know where White Rock Mountain is?
Not off the top of my head.
Gotcha.
No.
Okay. I'll have to ask my brother because he's the one that brought me down there. But, dude, the mountains.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Like you could. All right. Most of you are from Florida. You don't understand this, but the water is clear. Like there's no gators. Like
you can get in safe.
Yeah. No amoebas. That's what kind of like was the most crazy thing to me about Tennessee is like the water was clear. Like you could probably drink from it and be okay too.
That's nice. It's if I had it my way, eventually I would like want to like settle down
In Tennessee.
Yeah, either there or like Georgia. But yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time for sure.
Real estate's cheap there too, dude. I was looking at like moving out of here to just buy like a little cabin in the woods, but then I'm like, damn, bro, like if someone pulls up, like
you're on your own, bro. You're gonna have to figure that one out. You're gonna be by yourself. It'll take some time for them to get out to you, but yeah, that's childhood. That was my childhood. Yeah. So we did a decent amount of like moving around. Yeah, but it was mostly in the South.
Yeah, so, gotcha.
Yeah.
That Southern hospitality.
Yeah, bro, got it. Hey, no better place than the South.
Yeah.
None.
What's your second favorite place that you've traveled to from Tennessee? Because you mentioned you like traveling.
So I recently took a trip to New York as an adult for the first time.
Nice.
So that was a lot of fun. It was like a quick weekend trip, and before that, I've actually been to Barcelona.
Oh, yeah. Very cool.
Gorgeous.
All right, I gotta ask about New York real quick. Is it as crazy as people say?
I mean, if it is, like the stuff I was doing, we were probably like in the touristy areas.
Right.
So we went to like Times Square. I don't know.
But there's
like
not people getting robbed everywhere.
No,
there's no Spider-Man like swinging from building. No.
It was busy. Like Times Square was busy. It was jumping. I'm not gonna lie. It was like it just looked like everybody was having like a good time.
Right.
Like I don't know. It was like I can see like all like the TikToks and videos that we see like of New York. How like it's just like it looks like everybody's having like a good time. Like just minding their business, getting where they need to be and stuff like that. That's what it looked like, and that's what our experience was like. We didn't have like no issues.
Yeah.
Like no issues at all. Food was phenomenal.
Did you get some bagels from there?
No,
dude.
I didn't get any bagels, but we got a. We
pizza?
stopped at a bodega and got I don't know, some type of little sandwich.
Yeah.
Some sandwich. And I don't even like sandwiches like that.
But from New York,
it was cool, bro.
Aki way.
We stopped at the bodega.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I had this one coworker that was like from New York. So everyone from New York or has been to New York, they're like the bagels there are the best. This dude would take like a weekend trip up there just to get some bagels. Like he'd bring a backpack, nothing else.
Yeah.
Fill the backpack up with bagels and come back.
That's dedication.
He's like, bro, I'm saying,
That's dedication for real.
If only he took that dedication to the gym, bro. Like,
Tell him, man. Tell him.
But how was Barcelona? Is that your first time going out of the country, or yeah?
Oh man, that was a fun trip.
Yeah.
So I got to stay there for like it was either like 5 or 6 days. So it was like a solid amount of time. Like no bouncing around. It was just like boom, Barcelona.
Yeah.
Gorgeous like scenery, architecture. We went to some of the like historical landmarks. So we went to the cathedral. I can't remember the name of what, but like the big one, They were renovating it at the time, so there was like a lot of work going on. But you could see like how old it was, like how much work was put into it. I mean, it was just like it was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. And again, the food, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Amazing. It was just,
dude, Europeans know what's up.
It was just fresh food every single meal. Yeah. Every single meal. But that was a fun trip. And like you said, yeah, that was my first time overseas, and I haven't been overseas since. So
What were the people like? Were they like friendly towards you, or?
yeah, they were
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, they were super nice. I mean,
Awesome.
half the time, so I don't speak Spanish like
Right.
at all. So half the time, I didn't know what was what was being said or whatever.
Taco.
But, like, in terms of like body language and the little bits and pieces I could understand, like yeah, they were nice. And then the people that spoke English there too, like super nice, super sweet,
Nice.
very very friendly.
So so we talked about this a little bit earlier, but I was actually born in Germany.
Yeah.
And most of my family's from Bosnia, which is like Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
But I went back to Germany, probably like freshman, senior year of high school, somewhere around then. And like German people, I don't know if you know this, but they're very like upfront.
Yeah.
So it's very cool seeing like the cultural differences between like Americans and Europeans. Because Germans, like, they don't do the fake stuff where they're like nice to your
They don't
face and
dance
then
around,
talk.
yeah.
They're just like you go into a grocery store, they'll say hello, but like they don't do like the, oh, how are you doing today? You know what I'm saying? It's just
Straight to
like,
it.
what, like, tell me what you need. Like, this is your total.
Straight to it.
Yeah. Respect to it though. Like, it's not
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Every culture, culture is and there's no knocking it. There's no knocking. I like it. If that's how other cultures get down, it's like who am I to judge?
Exactly. 100%.
I like it.
Yeah. All right. So something else I kind of wanted to get your 2 cents on is I do a lot of like discussion for like self-development, like helping men kind of on that journey,
Yeah.
Especially younger men.
Yeah.
Because I feel like personally, and I'd like to get your opinion on this as well, is I feel like men these days are kind of lost compared to women, and I don't want to like get too political with it, but I feel like it's kind of like a lost generation of men. I kind of just wanted to get your opinion on kind of how you see this group of men coming up.
I could see that. Where do I want to?
I know it's a tough question because it's like
'cause it is-
you kind of gotta.
it is a tough question, but I'm finna answer it.
Yes, sir.
That's for sure. It's different. I think we have gotten to a point where we're just a lot softer. We're a lot more lenient, and we're a lot more like forgiving in ways which I personally think we should not be. It's like,
What do you mean by
and
that?
I'm not talking about in terms of like gender roles or anything like that, but it's like, hey, your role or what a man should be, right? You should be able to take care of the people that you care about. You should be able to, maintain a job, maintain your livelihood, like have some pride, have things like under control, and we're missing like those underlying values. And I think that's what I would attribute kind of why this generation seems so like hectic and just like all over the place. Like we've lost a lot of our like core values, and we've gotten away from like, hey, right is right and wrong is wrong. Like the lines have kind of been like blurred in a lot of different ways.
A lot
of different ways, man. So it's like, it's weird, man. And I think like I'm not old. I'm like 28, but there's things that I still like hold on to that my parents like taught me, and I have like no intention of like blurring those lines. Like I feel like I have a decent bearing on like what's right, what's wrong,
Like
what a
that
man
moral
should
compass.
be. Yeah. Exactly. I got my compass, and I feel like that's what these like young men are missing. There's like no guidance. Like I don't know. Like you can't. I have no idea what's guiding these kids these days. Like what is it? Is it the internet? Is it their parents? Is it their friends? Like I don't know. It's the lost leading the lost, man. It's
the
wild.
lost leading
It's
the
wild.
lost.
That's a conversation too. And then we have like, we've all heard of like the Andrew Tate type, the super like, what is it, manosphere type guys like
macho,
toxic
masculinity.
And that type of, or not even toxic masculinity, but like the guys who like take it like way left. It's like, women are inferior to men and that type of stuff. So it's like so many competing like interests and like figureheads trying to like steer dudes in a specific direction, and it's just it's crazy. It's crazy out here.
And like going back to the lost lead and the lost thing, I think like with all these figureheads that you have in the space, it's hard it's hard to know what is true and what is not if you can't think for yourself.
Yeah.
So I think like when these like younger folks see this, they're like, oh, like this is how it is, and they might create an obscure perception of what they're like taking in from these people. Like if they're watching Andrew Tate, like I've seen like some of the stuff I agree with, not everything, but some of the stuff I agree with.
There are bits and pieces of like, all these types of guys where it's like, yeah, you're right. A man should be able to do A, B, and C, and that's like a hard line. And we can all generally like agree on that. Like that's a role. That's something that you should be taking care of. And then there's the complete opposite where it's just like, all right, bro, like you going crazy right now. Like you out on the island with it. Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question though.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know. It's wild.
It's madness out there. It's the Wild West, dude. And I blame.
Really
I don't have my phone on me, but I blame the phones, dude. TikTok, Instagram, like all these kids are just constantly spammed with like memes, and like our society is just becoming like a big meme.
Yeah, and when you got like all this information and you're trying to figure, you're not only growing, so your body's still developing. You got all this information, still growing, and still trying to figure out like what's right, what's decent, what should I be doing as a dude. It's like it's a lot, and I will say that is something that I didn't have to grow up with, because the internet was just starting to boom, and we've seen so much change over such a short span of time. Like over this past like decade, there's been so, in terms of like social media,
VR,
technology,
Meta,
it's crazy. It's crazy. Dude. Shout out to the NFT boys.
Yeah. Damn, bro. Did you see that thing about like Bored Ape being like 60 million and it's like $10 now?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's all worthless. They didn't get me though.
Yeah, nah? You in the space?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Cause listen, one thing about me, man, if it don't make sense to me, and I know I'm not the smartest dude out there, if it don't make sense to me, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna tell me that like an image online that I can't hold. I don't know. It just.
You remember the screenshot meme?
Bro, it was just like that was crazy. That was a wild time. Yeah, dude. That was a wild time.
It was a fun time, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
There are some people who need to go to jail for that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That
there was a lot of
crazy.
scams going on.
Yeah.
But at the same time, bro, it's like if you buy like those fat burner like machines that you put on your stomach and like massage your tummy and you expect to have like abs, like that's on you, dog. Like
the game is the game, man.
There's no such thing as an overnight millionaire. Like
nah.
Unless you go to Vegas and put it all on black.
You can lose it just as quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, dude, going back to the lost lead and the lost, like this whole social media thing, like with phones, this is something that I've talked to a lot. One of my buddies has a kid who's like 16 and another one who's like 21, I think. So about close to our age.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But people always think I'm like 30. I had one guy thought I was like 40, bro. I was like, bro, like, damn, yeah. I was dirty, dog. I was like, shit.
That's crazy.
But no, he has kids, and like he was talking about how there's this whole thing in society with like younger men's testosterone levels being super low. And they were talking about like the correlation with porn and access to pornography and all those things online. And something I talk about a lot too is like porn's bad for you, man. Like it changes your brain and it gives you this like instant dopamine release that you shouldn't, like it just messes you up. You're getting something that's not real. It's images on a screen. It's not real emotional connection with a woman. It's not like you're not building up anything in your life. You're just wasting your energy, wasting your potential.
It's dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
Be careful. But it's like you said, we're surrounded by it, and it's like you gotta have something guiding you in order to understand how to deal with it. Because it's not going, porn is not going anywhere, the internet's not going anywhere, social media is not going anywhere. So it's like one of those things you can't avoid it, so you have to figure out better ways to deal with it
Right.
and like handle it.
But something I wanted to ask you is because we talked about opening up like our emotions to other men and like just in general as men, like opening up ourselves and how we feel. Do you feel like women will respect you more or less if you open up about your emotions and discuss that with them?
I mean, women in general, I don't like. That's gonna come down who you're
Who you're with.
yeah,
Yeah.
who you're with. I can
100%.
tell you this, and this just goes for any human being. Any human being, if you're opening up to somebody and they try to take advantage of that,
Yeah.
or like weaponize that or use that, you don't need to be dealing with that. That's just a shitty person.
Yeah, 100%.
Point blank. Period.
Yeah.
So it's like, I have plenty of conversations with my girl. Shout out to you.
Hey.
Yeah.
She a real one.
But yeah, we've had like tons of talks, man. It's just like where I've like, I'm telling her like, how I'm feeling or if I'm having like a tough time or whatever, but she don't look at me like any different. She actually like, it's weird. She actually enjoys those conversations because it makes us feel like closer. But
Nice.
me in my mind, I'm like, oh, bro, I probably sound like a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, that goes for anything, man. Like friends, family, a partner, it doesn't matter. If somebody's like, if you're trying to open up to somebody and they're like taking advantage of, you trying to be vulnerable with them or taking advantage of like what you're choosing to tell them, like obviously that person is probably coming to you in confidence. They're probably like trusting you, and somebody uses that against you. That's just a trash human being.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
get away from run.
Yeah.
Get far away from them. So
Heard it here
yeah,
first.
Yeah.
But your girl sounds like a keeper, dog. Like I'm
Yeah.
happy that you found someone like that because
she's
that's
solid.
yeah.
Yeah, she's solid.
Yeah.
Bro.
He's
I
like,
did that.
yeah.
I did
Nice,
that.
bro. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I'm a happy camper, man. Yeah. But that speaks to like who you're choosing to date. So you
Yeah.
gotta like be careful. Like don't just a person might be as beautiful as you want them to be, or as handsome as you want them to be, or they may be like, I don't know.
It's the crazy hot
Financial-
spectrum, bro.
Yeah. You just gotta be like check your boxes. Like everybody has their boxes, things that they need from a partner, and we all know, or hopefully we all know what red flags should look like.
Yeah.
So just like stop thinking with your dick for a second. And just like think about what you're doing. Think about who you're involving yourself with.
Hey, anytime you're thinking about a girl, get that post nut clarity in first, and then adjust.
Ask yourself
Yeah.
if you'd be willing to do the same thing you
Yeah.
were just about to do 5 minutes ago.
Exactly, bro.
100%.
That thing saves lives right there.
No, for sure. For sure. I don't know why God made us this way, but hey, it is what it is, man.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Damn, bro, that's funny. So, like you got a little bit lucky. I don't want to say lucky because you've worked for it, and you got yourself a keeper. But I feel like another thing that's kind of been messing up the society is just like the dating scene. Like, I see a lot of happy people, like couples, but most of them I see are like in their 30s and 40s. I don't see a lot of happier younger couples.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how y'all are. I don't.
Dude, it's
I don't-
crazy.
Are you single?
I'm single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
I saw those red flags you were talking about. So
Yeah, smart man. Hey, man, protect yourself. Protect
the
your
energy,
peace.
brother.
I don't know. 'Cause I honestly can't speak to the dating scene like right now.
How'd you meet your
at
girl?
all. At work.
Oh,
Yeah, it was-
is she a cop
it
too,
was,
or?
Yeah.
Oh,
She
dude,
is,
nice.
She is actually, yeah. So yeah, we met at work, man. It was convenient.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, I have no idea because it seems like looking from the outside, it just the dating world seems kind of chaotic. But I don't want to just be like discouraging. Like obviously there are still plenty of good people out there.
100%.
I would just ask like, hey, where are you looking? Is this the type of place, or is this the type of like setting or whatever where you would find that person that
Cross
you're
Miami
trying-
off your list. Orlando. Scribble them off.
just
Move to the
just
Midwest,
be
bro. I
careful,
feel
man.
like
yeah,
that's the spot.
I'm stay in the South, bro. You
Yeah.
find,
Yeah.
They're out there, man.
Because it's that moral compass that like a lot of people lose, and it's weird because like Like it sounds like you had a good upbringing. Like you got instilled with like a good moral compass.
I will say my parents they did a good job.
Yeah.
They
If
did a good
if
job.
you did something bad, bro, like
I'm
like
up to it, yeah.
but then like my parents were the same way. Like you they taught you how to be a good person. They didn't care like much about who you are. They just care that you were a good person, that you like worked hard, that you studied hard. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that you tried your best in everything that you did, but you were also humble and kind to other people and like all these other things. But like you look at the new generation of parents, like the millennial parents, or like a little bit above that, I guess, and you see like a whole new like group of kids, like
Yeah.
iPad kids,
Yeah.
like they're not being taught things. They're not. The parents aren't spending. Dude, these single mothers out here are wilding, bro.
Yeah.
Like
It's
I'm a single man, so I'm talking to some single mothers sometimes, you know, bro. And
Yeah.
and they're like they're down to just like leave their kid at home and like pull through to the crib, and I'm like,
that's
dog, like
crazy.
you got a whole ass kid.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, dog, like
That's terrifying.
It's-
But again, like that's a red flag.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
if she gonna neglect that kid, she definitely for damn sure gonna neglect you one
Yo.
day. I don't even know what to say.
It's crazy, bro. Like
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
and shit. And I know like some older women too, bro, like 30s, close to their 40s, like they're doing the same thing, bro. And it's like when do you get like when do you grow up? Like maturity doesn't come with age, and people I hate people that have that perspective where it's like, oh, you're a certain age, that means like you're mature and you have like a good understanding. Like it can come with time, but I feel like maturity comes a lot more through your experiences, the way you're raised, the moral compass that you have, bro. Like if you don't have guilt after doing something bad, like there's something wrong, bro.
You know, one thing I will say that's like helped me. I am very selective in who I'm like hanging out with, who I date, who my like friends are. Like the people I consider my friends are some of the closest people to me. They're not just like, you know, like a weekend friend or anything like that. It's like, yo, if you're gonna know, like, hey, bro, I got you for life, like for sure. And the same thing is like reciprocated back. But going back to what you were saying, it's like I'm selective for that reason. Like I don't want to be, you know, involving myself with or surrounded by people that are not like gonna be a positive, right?
Yeah.
So why would I put myself through a situation, you know, or deal with a person, a friend, girlfriend, whatever, that's not going to be like, you know, trying to help me be a better person, or vice versa. We're not, you know, if that person is not like it just what I need, like as a friend, it's just not gonna happen. I'm perfectly fine with that. Like I got a handful of friends. That's it. And it's like I think it's the greatest thing ever. And I'm not the type where I need like to have like a shit ton of just like company, if you will.
Right. You just
That's
need a
just
few
me.
real ones,
That's
bro.
just me. But it's kept me I feel like that's like protected like my mental peace like a lot. It's like I'm very, very comfortable like being by myself for one, and just having like just a handful full of people that I consider to be like the closest friends.
Yeah. Nice. I feel like
I highly recommend it. Be selective.
100%.
Yeah.
Something I talk about, I've talked about a lot, is like you have to be selective with the relationships that you have in life. If they're not good for you, if they're negatively impacting you, if you're dealing with the complainers, bro, like you ever have those friends that just complain and bitch about everything nonstop, and it's like, bro, like then do this. Like if you're tired of being fat, stop eating bad and go to the gym.
Yeah.
If you're tired of being broke, get a job.
And that's what a good friend would tell the one that's complaining to do. It's like, hey, all right, cool, yeah, whatever it is, it's shitty, it sucks or whatever, but it's like there's solutions to a lot of our problems. It's just a matter of like, hey, are you willing to go do what you got to do to get it done?
Yeah. I mean, everyone wants to be fit, everyone wants to be wealthy, but like what are you willing to do to get there?
It requires, unless you're just like, you know, lucky or blessed, whatever you want to call it, just like that, you gotta go get it.
Put in the effort, yeah.
1000%.
But those relationships, man, like you got to do one of two things: you edit them or delete them. Like, cause you got some boys from like kindergarten, preschool, where it's like you grew up with them, and it's like that's your boy, but like you said, you're not the person I need right now, because you're not gonna help me get to the next level.
Yeah.
Like I want to be a powerlifting champion. I want to, you know, like I have these goals, but you want to like smoke weed all day and play
Yeah.
video games.
It's like I'm sure we all have that point. It's like I don't want to make it sound like it's like, if you're not for me, then you're against me kind of thing. It's like,
No, it's
obviously I
love.
want to, yeah, yeah. And it's like even cutting people off that aren't like a net positive to your life, that's love. Because it's like, hey, that might be the direction that you want to go, which is fine. It's your life. Go do what you go, have a blast. But this is the direction that I'm heading, and the two, they don't match up, which
Exactly.
is perfectly fine. I feel like there should be no hurt feelings.
Nah, dog.
And that nobody should be butthurt or whatever. It's just like, we're getting older, things are changing, our mindsets are changing, and I don't know, it happens. Like I think it's a very, very good thing to just be selective with who you're around.
And you don't have to like cut them off completely, block them on everything,
you
bro.
can,
You can still talk to them, like hit them up, like, hey, how you been?
Yeah.
But it's like if this is the person you're spending most of your time with, you're gonna end up being like that person, because like that saying, like the 4 people or the 5 people you spend the most time with, you become the 6th.
Yeah.
One of my coaches said this funny thing, dude. He's like, if you're hanging out with 5 idiots, how many are there? And then someone said 5. He's like, no, 6, because you're the 6th idiot.
Yeah.
So it's like,
It's
exactly like that, bro.
Yeah.
Like if you're hanging out with idiots, you become an idiot. If you're hanging out with successful millionaires working out,
chances are,
because it's that culture, bro. Like these people are gonna help bring you up and make you who you want to be. Sometimes, bro, like, because going back to the whole being lazy thing, bro, like sometimes I'm just lazy and I'm like, like I'll do a video tomorrow. And then I'm like, no, I got to get out of this rut. So I just put the camera up there. I don't know what the hell I'm going to talk about. I just like Google some shit, bro, put the camera, and I just start talking. And then sometimes I sound like a clown, but it's like if you don't do something and just take the first step, like you won't know.
I agree. I think in terms of when it comes to me, like recording, like content, so it's like adding a camera to like my workout is like a second task. Like sometimes,
and you got that big ass camera
like,
too.
Yeah. Sometimes it feels like a chore. It's like because I'm usually by myself, so I have to like go back and forth, make sure the camera's like in focus, make sure I'm like in frame, all this kind of stuff, and I enjoy doing it. Like I enjoy the feeling of like having something put together well, or like being able to show people like, hey, or showcase what I'm doing. Like, hey, these are my lifts for the week or the day or whatever it might be, and just putting it out there and seeing what it does. But then there's other days where it's just like, bro, I don't feel like recording like at all. I just want to like go train. I don't want to bring my camera. I don't want to talk. I just want to go in, put my headphones in, go crazy, go home.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get out of like that mentality and think of it less as like a chore, because going back to what you were saying like earlier on, there's like so much information out there, and it's like in terms of like content, whether it be podcast, TikTok, IG, there's a lot of opportunity just in that space.
Yeah.
Like people's lives have transformed from doing just recording what they already enjoy doing and just putting it out there.
And it could be anything, bro. Like there's a market for anything.
There really
like
is.
I'm trying to think of like some crazy stuff, but like mowing, dude, there's this dude that puts a camera on like an automatic lawnmower that just goes on his back.
Exactly
Dog, and he's making bank.
I know exactly
or the
what you're
NPC
talking-
shit,
yeah.
like.
It's
I mean, that's
It's
less
just-
like the
it's-
passion projects, but
it almost pisses me off how how some of the stuff that you see, but it's like I'm like in my head I'm like, yo, this is dumb. Like, not to knock what that person is doing, but it's like I get it. It's working. And meanwhile, I'm struggling trying to get my little views. Like,
motherfucker.
Just hate. I'm hating, but
yeah,
it's cool.
But like for me as well, it's like, damn, like I wish I could do that. Not really, because like the NPC stuff, the like thanks for the glizzy.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
It's like, bro, like that's not who I want to be.
Yeah.
Like even if it's a quick buck, like there's that moral compass.
Yeah,
like
you
it's
gotta,
not
you gotta sacrifice. You're gonna lose a piece of yourself.
exactly like
Like your kids are probably gonna see that one day. They're gonna be like, yo, Dad, what is this?
get a Lambo with the license plate. Thanks for the glizz.
Yeah, no, that's
Nah. You'll be
That's
the
wild.
glizzy guy, bro, for the
That's
rest of your
wild.
life. Nah.
That's wild.
But yeah, so how long ago did you start making content?
You know what's crazy? So I didn't have Instagram
Damn.
until I didn't have Instagram until like 2018, 2019, something like that. And it honestly wasn't even my idea. So Keith, I happened to just like meet him at the gym. We started like
At
work.
our gym or
No. This was at LA Fitness. This
Gotcha.
was like years ago.
yeah.
So you know, he's like, bro, do you have like IG or whatever? Like, you should start like recording, just like posting stuff, because it's like, you know, he's showing me like people who are already like in that space and like putting content out, and they're doing like really well. He's like, so he like encouraged me to like, yo, why don't you post more, get social media, because I've never been, honestly, I've never been like a big like camera guy, or like the guy who's like, you know, really like out there, like in front of the camera talking, doing all this like other stuff. Like, I'm naturally just a reserved person. Like, you get me around like my people, different story.
Yeah.
But like out and about, man, it's just like, you know, I'm to myself, and that's, I've pretty much always been that way, and I like that. But that's pretty much how I started in terms of like social media. But then after like spending some time with it, I started to see it's like, oh, there's like real opportunity here. And it's like, not for nothing, like I've met a ton of people through like social media, or just like being, you know, in the gym space. And I'm not to toot my own horn, because I hate to like come off that way, but I've also like been like the person like encouraging people to like go train, go push yourself. Like, I don't know, people have started like, you know, they reach out, be like, hey, you know, just letting you know I did my first meet, and it's because, you know, I saw one of your videos or something like that. Which is like, I'm like, damn, that's solid, bro.
Yeah,
I was
dude.
like, oh shit, I did that. But it's like, I think of what I do in like this like small bubble, like, you know, who's really looking at like what I'm doing. But it's so true. It's like, you never know who's watching. Like,
Yeah.
and especially if you're like doing the right thing, man, you have no idea who you could be impacting just by doing like your normal day to day, or something that you really love like doing. And for me right now, that's like powerlifting. So
Yeah.
all I gotta do, you know, I tell myself this every day. All I gotta do is just put the camera up, go do what you've already been doing. It just happens to be a camera there.
30 more seconds.
Yeah.
And it's like going to the whole content creation thing, bro. Like, if I can watch Netflix, or if I could be on my phone scrolling through like TikTok or Instagram, I can damn well put something on there myself to promote like my own shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not just gonna consume everyone else's things. Like, if you have the time to do that, you damn well have the time to do that.
And it's like you said, there's something out there. Like, what you do, somebody also is interested in that thing. Somebody would want to like see or hear from you or whatever. So, I mean, I want to encourage you, if you're like on the fence, or just, you know, you don't know, just start. Just start. And I'm like, this is coming from somebody who struggled with that. Like, when it like, I'll like record stuff for like YouTube, right? I will create a whole video, and there will be one thing in that video that I can't cut out, can't edit, and I just won't put it out.
Yeah.
And I just won't put it out, because it's like, I want what I put out to be like damn near perfect.
Right.
Like, I want it to be like film level quality, even though I'm doing it, you know, I'm just not, I'm learning it all myself, and I'm just not there yet. But it's like, you're not going to get there unless you start.
I feel that, but you got to put that out too, bro, because you don't know what thing you say in there, what thing you do in there that might impact the next person, or like that one thing that you thought wasn't good, but that's the thing that goes viral. So like, I was like that too, where it's like, oh, like I thought this was like dumb as hell, like I'm looking goofy,
just
like
start, bro. That is literally the greatest advice. Just start, and you're gonna get better. But
and no one gives a fuck. Like,
honestly,
everyone's in their own head, bro.
Yeah.
And even if they do and they're clowning you, bro, like, then delete them, bro. Like, press delete. Like,
it's just
get the white out, erase them.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck, dude?
Who honestly, who cares?
I saw this thing where it's like, you spend most of your 20s like concerned about other people thinking about you, that you don't do those things, and you have to understand that like when you hit your 40s, it's either the regret of thinking what other people thought about you, or the regret of doing those things and putting in the work, and
Yeah.
and you won't even know the people that you thought were your friends when you're in your 20s that like were clowning you about shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure people clown me, like I'm sure you probably think people clown you too, bro. Like it's just part of it.
Yeah, and you gotta have thicker skin too, because you know you're putting yourself out there. You're gonna be, you know, you're not just only gonna receive support. There's also gonna be people, you know, who don't care for what you're putting out, or I don't know. Some people are just miserable, man, and they have
Deadass.
literally nothing better to do. So it's like, or you might be that person. So
Yeah,
stop doing
hey.
it.
Yeah, you right there.
Yeah.
Damn.
But yeah, again, man, who cares?
The
Like,
hate always comes from the most
bro,
miserable
just
people, though.
Turn the notifications, post it, turn the notifications off, turn your comments or whatever. Protect your peace.